do our countdown here.
All units, mount up.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Wiz, congratulations on being the first one in. Sister Marie, Ohio, Susanna. Welcome, guys.
Hi, everyone.
Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday.
Hey, Chris. As y'all can see, I have the lovely Stars Prepper and Miss Sophia B. Welcome to the first edition of Scenario Sunday. For those that haven't heard, hey, Miss Sharon. For those that haven't heard, I will be doing ladies panels on Sundays. We'll be doing situational scenarios. Hey, Yankee, kind of like Native was doing. This is the idea that I did get from Native. So big, huge props to our brother Native.
We love Native.
Love you, brother.
We love you.
We love us some Native.
We do.
Right. But I hope y'all enjoy. And if y'all want to join us, next week or, whatever, just hit me up an email. Or if you have my phone number, text me. I'll give it a few minutes and see if we can get any more in here, and we'll get started. How you ladies doing today?
I'm doing good. I want to say hi to Ohio Prepper and Susanna.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm looking at the TV so I can kind of see the chat. So I want to make sure I said, hey, Wizard.
I'm doing all right. It's going to be a busy day today. Unfortunately, Peach, I know you know, I won't be able to stay for the entirety, but everyone in chat, Wiz, Ohio, Sister Marie, everyone who's come, thank you guys for coming today. Yankee. How are you doing today, Peach?
I'm doing good. I've had the day off today, so I've just been sitting back drinking my coffee, getting my caffeine in.
I feel you on that.
Ooh, coffee sounds good. I need to make some coffee. Probably be a good time to have coffee.
But I know Sophia is pressed for time, so I figured I'd go ahead and give her situation first. Put her up in the hot seat first.
Ooh, you go first.
Oh boy.
And I actually have one that I think would fit you pretty decently.
Oh no.
I'm ready.
All right. This is your situation. You are 200 miles from home when an EMP hits. And it's you by yourself. Chris and the kids are at home. How would you go about getting home safely?
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and look at this as I'm still living where I'm living now. And so 200 miles, depending on where I would be. That's probably going to be more than likely desert. EMP. So there'll be a bug out bag. I'll definitely, obviously, grab that because it's going to have some things that I need. Was I in my vehicle when this happened? Yes.
Yes.
So, vehicle's done, but a tire iron is going to be a good thing to carry with me. So, I'm going to grab my bug out bag. I'm going to grab the map out of the glove box. I'm going to grab the tire iron. I think the first thing I'm going to look for is to see if there's any train tracks around. Because if there's train tracks, then there's trains.
Yeah. Yep.
A train isn't going to...
No, everything's knocked out.
So, I mean, tracks are going to lead me to areas. And I know that following tracks, especially if I'm trying to make it home, there are trains within my area where I live. So I think my first course of action, like I say, is going to be looking at the map, and obviously really evaluating my surroundings. And I would follow train tracks.
Right.
Obviously,
that's a good idea.
The tracks are an excellent idea.
Obviously having a weapon, because we all know it'd be a chaotic situation, but normally train tracks, I mean, unless you're going through heavily populated cities, which, like I say, if this truly happened, I would more than likely be in more of a desert setting, not heavy populated, unless I was up in Central and Northern California, but I don't see that. So yeah, bug out bag, tire iron, and train tracks.
Very good. Hey, Candle. Hey, Random. Okay. Shit, I went squirrel.
The tracks are a good idea. I always say follow the tracks or follow a creek or follow the water. Always excellent.
Definitely.
Water's going to be a problem in the desert, obviously.
Yeah,
Well,
because
obviously,
Yeah.
right.
Sorry, I know
I'm by myself. Yeah, I'm by myself.
Sorry,
You're not with me.
I know, but
like I say, I mean, we do keep maps in our glove box. So, I mean, obviously I'm going to want a map, because being on foot and traveling through different terrains, I would not follow a highway. So I think my safest bet is train tracks.
Did you say whether or not it was during the day when this happened to her, Georgia?
I didn't, but
'Cause
it would be during the day.
Okay.
Sherry, that's true. But if I'm looking at this like this happened where I am living at now, within within a 200-mile radius of where I am at now, I know so many tracks. And so that's something, honestly, that I will look into, as far as, aren't there track numbers?
yes, and out here they would be pretty straight because they're following somewhat highway lines.
So, I mean, while they don't lead to a population like, a train depot like way back when and all that, they do lead into our areas. So as long as I was able to find the correct track number and follow mapping, I think that I would have a good shot at getting home, but that's not to say that I won't have struggles or situations that may come up along that path.
Right. And Susanna brought up a good point. Find the cacti. Because, they have water.
Yep. And you can eat cactus flesh.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, yeah. And I mean, yeah, bug out bag is limited in what's being carried in it. So, I mean, yeah, cactuses, some of the desert terrain roots of plants can be eaten. So, I mean, there's those options. Obviously, if we're going through desert, or if I'm going through desert, you have the possibility of snakes depending on the season. So, I mean, there's lots of different things that could come up, and you know,
You also have to watch out for the coyotes as well.
oh yes,
Hey,
coyotes, bobcat.
Leslie. Go ahead, Sophia.
I mean, you got coyotes, bobcats, you got the javelina, like boar pigs. So, I mean, there's situations that, could arise that could be deadly.
And you've got your bag, so you've got water, you've got you've got a bag. It's got your bug out stuff in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we carry bug out and we carry IFAC. So I've got both of those.
Right.
And like I say, as far as a weapon, I mean, obviously I'm not in a state. Sorry, y'all, my rooster. Obviously, I'm not.
I love it.
Obviously, I'm not in a state where I can carry, but I do carry on me a knife and a taser gun. And like I say, I grab the tire iron.
Right. Hey, Backwoods. Okay. Approximately, you're 200 miles from home, going through the desert, following the train tracks. How long do you believe it would take you to get home?
200 miles.
Mm-hmm.
Train tracks, desert terrain, which can be flat. You got, hilly. Walk-in. I want to say at bare minimum, in all honesty, it would take me at least 4 days, bare minimum. And that's walking as long and as long as I can every day.
Right.
Because you're talking staying off of highways, staying off of frequented back roads, and sticking to tracks. And like I say, I mean, the scenarios that could come up with wildlife, if I'm not being careful, like I could end up really, really screwed over, truly.
Definitely. Hey, Von Eric. Hey, Hoot Owl. Keith.
Hi, y'all.
What's up?
Hi, everybody. It'd be hard to keep a pace. There's no way you could keep a pace, like a perfect 25 mile per hour pace. There's no not on tracks.
No.
All right. Let's say you're on your first night. Of course, you don't have to have rest, right?
Of course.
All right. It's storming. You come up on, of course, it being in California. We all know the homeless population. You come up on a homeless camp. Of course, you skirt it because you do not want to, you don't want any trouble. How would you go about skirting it without being found?
Time.
So,
yeah.
Depending on how large the homeless camp is, I'm going to assume that it's a normal homeless camp, maybe, I don't know, five maximum 10, tent-like deals. It's a pretty decent size. My rule of thumb would be to go around it in an arc as far out as I can and as quietly as I can. So that would mean backtracking. If I came up upon it and I saw it, obviously before walking into it, I would backtrack. I would probably count over 500 steps backtracking. And then I would feel safe enough to use a light to look at my map and to see which direction is going to be the easiest path for me to navigate at night. And I would go around it in the biggest possible arc.
Very good. All right. Chris, forgive me for this. Okay, you get home. As you're coming up into your area, you see thick black smoke rolling from the direction of your home. And Chris, I'm not killing you off, nor the kids. So.
Okay. Appreciate that.
Of course you're going to panic. What do you do when you see this and you walk up into your yard and you see that it's your house on fire, but you cannot find Chris, nor can you find the kids? Hi, Larry.
Are we talking the house is fully engulfed? Yes?
Yes.
At that point, while, I mean, truly, yes, panic, of course. At that point, I would immediately turn around. And Chris and I have already discussed a scenario like this, and there are some big orange groves about a half mile away. And there is a huge windmill in the orange groves. I would immediately turn around and start making my way to that windmill, because that is a meetup point for us upon any kind of separation. So I would make my way to the orange groves and the big windmill.
Very good. You make it to the windmill. You see that your family is surrounded by marauders. How would you make it through to your family?
Oh my goodness.
Is this still daytime when this is happening?
No, this is not.
Okay. So my best course of action is going to be to try to wait until they are asleep. And the first person that I'm going to have to try to secure is my husband, not my kids, because my kids can't help me like my husband can. So I would wait until they were sleeping. But at the same time, if they're taking shifts and doing a watch, then I'm going to have to resort to violence, Peach. And how many marauders are we talking about, and how big of an area?
25 marauders within the immediate vicinity.
Okay.
And another 15 spread out through the grove.
Okay. Then what I'm doing is I am backtracking. I'm going back to my house, and hopefully the fire is done and the fire safe is still intact. And I'm opening that, and I am strapping up. I know that at least half of our ammo cans are fire safe. So it'll be doing that, because I'm going to need the rifles. And I'm a pretty damn good shot with my husband's Ruger rifle. And it's got a scope. which can allow me distance. But at the same time, as soon as I take that first shot, they're going to be looking. So, like I say, I would backtrack to my house, and if the fire safes were intact and everything was okay inside, I would be able to gain weapons to take some of them out. But if there's that many marauders and it's just me, I'm either going to have to make myself known and allow myself to get taken, or I will fight to the death, Peach, and hope to God I can get Christopher, because obviously 2 is better than 1.
That's right. That's a good point, Backwoods.
Yeah, no, he's got a good point. And I mean, so, you know, you allot time for that. Okay, half mile back to my house, seeing what's available, what's left, cleaning, strapping up, and heading back out. And like I say, if I'm lucky and some of them are asleep, that's all fine and dandy. But like I say, as soon as I take my first shot, it's going to be like cockroaches. They're going to be scattering out looking for me. So it'll be a constant move and wait, see how many I can take out. And that's honestly what I would do. I wouldn't lay down. I don't think I could give myself up with the possibility, with even a small chance, you guys. I mean, even a small chance of success. I would try my damnedest to free my family and take out as many of them as I could.
All right.
Sophia's a badass. Oh.
Right.
Oh my God.
When it comes to my family, I would. No, I mean, truly.
Oh my goodness.
All right, Susanna. Lord, I was looking at Susanna's comment up there, but okay, you get your pew pews and whatnot, but
oh my God, it's not over.
Nope.
Okay.
You move in. Oh, where'd she go?
Oh no. Oopsie doodle.
She'll be back.
I'm like, it's not over. She's got to go through more.
Yep. And then the chat gets to add.
Sorry,
yeah, there's Sophie.
Awesome.
All right. This will be my last one for you, and then I'm going to let chat, give you some things. All right. As you're trying to get Chris out, so he can help, you've made it this far. You've took a couple of them out. But as you're circling around to, get closer to your family, the head guy captures you. What are you going to do?
How big is this man?
280, 6 foot.
Oh, 280 pounds, 6 feet tall. I'd fight him. I wouldn't go quietly. I'm not going to let him capture me and sit back and watch and see how things work. No. If he's 6 feet tall and he's 280 pounds and I have any weapon on me, he's bigger than me, he's stronger than me, okay? But there are points there are points that I can use to disable him.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not going to be able to protect every point in a fight, just like I won't be able to either. I mean, that's a given. I'd fight him, Peach. If I couldn't flee and give him the slip, I'd fight him. I feel capable enough in my abilities to fight. And I think that I would have a pretty good chance, unless this guy is like just super badass. And I mean, if he's just a regular old guy off the street who's the leader of this group of marauders, I think that I would have about a 50-50 chance.
Yeah.
Exactly, Wiz. Headbutt, that's a classic. Eye gouge, knees. If he's standing in front of me and I'm moving my arms around like I'm going to hit him and I kick him straight in the knee and break his knee, that man is not getting back up.
Yep.
Very good. Chat's got a lot of good ideas. Get stabby, go for the neck. Oh, throat punch. Take a man's air and he is done.
If you hit a man as hard as you can right in his Adam's apple, yeah.
All right, chat. Y'all got any caveats for Sophia? I can't talk today. That's a damn good movie, Wiz. That is very good. Very good, Susanna. I'll give them a few minutes and see if they come up with any caveats. Man, our chats are awesome. Oh, Yankee, that was low. Most of us women would be in that situation would be dealing with a man that's a good foot taller than us. Miss Sharon said, where are you going after you take him out?
After I take him out, I'm freeing everyone. And obviously then it's going to be a matter of regroup and be on our way as quickly as possible.
Right.
It'll be imperative to make sure that my children are as quiet as possible, with the possibility of anyone else being in those groves or within the vicinity. It's going to be imperative that my children are as quiet as possible, no matter how happy they are to see me okay, daddy okay. That's going to be the biggest thing.
That's right. Very good, Ohio. I hadn't thought about that.
Oh my goodness.
Keith, you in that desk.
Freaking Keith still stuck on the desk.
Very good. Oh, look at Hope. Chris is not there and the kids are alone. Will you go looking for him based on their directions?
Like she's already seen the kids? She's going to leave them there?
Well, my first thing is, if my children are in my line of sight and they see me, obviously, again, my children need to be quiet. And I think that is going to be an uphill battle, especially with my little girl, because she's only 6. My oldest, as soon as I look at him, we have a signal. If I put my hand up to my mouth, he'll know what that means. He'll know to say B, B. And as soon as my oldest says B, his father is to respond. As soon as that takes place and I hear where Christopher is, I will go for Christopher before my kids, because I know my oldest son will keep everything as quiet as he can. But the minute he sees the finger up to my lips, he's going to say as loud as he can, B, B. That's already something we've discussed in any sort of situation where we may get separated, whether it's, we're in some sort of area and we're separated, we can't see one another. B is our word. So as soon as William says B and his father responds, I'm going for Chris.
Very good. That's true, Randall.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing for me. Like I say, my boys being 11 and 13, they would obviously be more understanding and having some know-how of the situation. But my 6-year-old, that's my biggest worry. If she saw me, I know that her immediate reaction is going to be to yell, "Mommy." And so that's my biggest thing, is if I was able to get around my children to where only my oldest could see me, that would be best case scenario for me. But like I say, if Chris isn't there and my kids are all, tied up to a tree or, tied up around the windmill, that would be my biggest thing, is getting in William's line of sight, because he knows all the hand signals. He knows the words to use.
Right. Don't you think because they're older, they'll be protective of her? And if they're in a group, if all the kids are together, then they're going to give her direction as well. Like, or you know what I mean? Like, wouldn't they give her direction because they're older?
Yes.
They would know.
Yes.
A lot of people don't think about including their kids in, shift situations.
Stand up, son. Stand up.
Let me get my boots on.
My 13-year-old boy. My 13-year-old boy is the size of a grown man. So having him, guys. My 13-year-old is 5'10". He's built like a linebacker. He's a big boy. He's a very strong boy. So I think it would be interesting to know how they got my son, let alone my husband, let alone them together. Stand up, son. You can put your hat over your face if you don't want your face shown. There's me and my boy.
I'm currently in my boots right now.
I'm barefoot, but yeah. Yeah, he's a big boy.
Yep.
Right. Then you should have comfort in that as well as a mom, because your boys, and they're older and they're taught and they know. So that should give you a little bit of comfort if you find them all together. It should give you some comfort.
Yes.
If the kid's tied up, then they would be used as bait for a mother to come get them. It's a trap, maybe. And that's why I say I would stay as far back as possible, but hopefully within William's line of sight, because William, like I say, he's the oldest, he's the biggest, he's the strongest, and he's he's more 100% well versed in the hand signals and words used that we've discussed. So it would be a matter of just getting William's attention and him seeing me do the hand signal so I could locate his dad. I wouldn't go for them, no, because by myself, yeah, it could be a trap. And what if I walk up and start, untying or whatever, freeing, William, and I'm clobbered over the back of the head? I would need Chris.
Right. And the kids would see that as well.
Yes.
Awesome responses, Sophia. Awesome.
Just, I know that I'm a female. I know that my strength is not that of a man. I know that if this was reversed and it was Chris, I know Chris could make it 200 miles back home. I mean, way quicker than I could.
Right.
But I know my shortcomings, but I also try to look at, because of these shortcomings I have, or, however you want to put it, that there's ways. Okay, hold on, love. Because of my shortcomings, because of, like I say, I'm smaller, I'm this, I'm that, I try to evaluate and look at, okay, what can I do to counteract my shortcomings in a very bad situation? It's a constant evaluation process. You're constantly reevaluating yourself, your strengths, your weaknesses, and you're trying to find every which way you can to overcome those, to be better, to be stronger, to be faster, to be more aware.
Right. When you're putting you're going to walk for 4 days, your house is on fire, your kids are gone. You're going to be so pumped up. You're going to feel like Superwoman anyway. So you keep that in mind too, because your adrenaline is just going to skyrocket when you see those kids.
And that's it. And that's why I say, I would definitely have weapons on me. And there's so many different options for weapons. So, there's that. And like I say, I would do everything in my power to secure my husband and then secure my children. Everything. And if that meant that I died in the process, then so be it. But I would not. I understand using our feminine wiles and this and that, but what makes you think that after you use that they're just gonna kill you anyways? I will not offer myself up on a platter to someone. I won't. I will do everything in my power to outsmart them and kill them and secure my family. Simple as that.
And see, there is a perfect example of a woman's mind versus a man's mind. Like we said, women are cunning more than a man. Guys want to win the war, and women want to win the battle and fight the next day.
Exactly. And when kids are involved, it changes everything.
Exactly. We're mama bears.
That's right.
And that's it. I am a woman. I am strong by myself, but I'm even stronger with my husband. My husband and I are even more fortified and strong with our children. And that is what it comes down to for me, you guys. I'm not saying that this scenario would play out in my favor, because I know the odds are stacked against me. But that's one thing that I think people should really, really look at and evaluate themselves, their partners, their lives. Always know the odds are stacked against you. It is what you do, how you prepare, your mindset, and your physical levels that will help you overcome anything.
That's right. Always know your partner. Best friends, lovers, husband and wife, partners, whatever. Always know, your best friends or your partner's next move. Always. When you have a deep connection with that person, it's kind of like a twin thing to where you pretty much know what they're going to do.
Right.
Exactly.
You should be able to look at them, and they look at you, and you don't have to say anything, and you should just kind of know, or maybe with a little signal, but. Yeah.
And even if people are not living the lifestyle of being in a preparedness mindset, at the very least, people should have plans of action for home invasions, for fire, earthquake, tornado. All families should have that. And I think a lot of families do not.
Right.
I think that's also because in a lot of families, you'll have the husband's all about it and the wife's not, or vice versa, or there's no kids involved, so they don't worry about it.
And that's it.
Even if you're in your situation, if you're in a home and everybody isn't on the same page, when something actually happens, whether it be your house catches on fire or some kind of catastrophe on the planet, everybody's going to react together and go from each other. So if you're the one that holds all the information and you know how to do everything, then you're going to be the one telling everybody.
Yep. And that's it. And, it's important for every person to be prepared. In your little family units, that means your children too. That means your children knowing how to handle really what could be really terrible, stressful, frightening situations. Because sometimes it's like the way that my house is set up, y'all. If something were to happen in my house, my kids are on one side of the house and my husband and I, our room is on the other. There is a whole living room and hallway in between me and my children. So something bad happens, like I say, even if people do not live the prepping lifestyle, the preparedness lifestyle, I really hope anybody that does come across this, Peach, that this makes them think about just having some plans of action in any terrible situation that could occur.
Right. That's something that we need to think about. We need to plan for. Like I live in a hurricane-prone, area. Tornadoes. We prep not only for, war or famine or, stuff like that. We prep for hurricanes, tornadoes, fires, stuff like that. Look at what's going on down in Panama City.
Yeah. And real quick, Susanna, I totally understand what you meant, but I think a lot of women, especially people that, like I say, may come across this live stream and, be interested in it. I think a lot of women would offer themselves up in the aspect that could be deadly to them. So that's all.
And Wills, I just want to point out, you lost that bet. It didn't go south within the first 37 minutes.
I can behave. But if that's it, Peach, I've really got to get off here and get myself ready. We got an 1.5-hour drive down to San Diego.
Yes, ma'am. I appreciate you coming up on panel with us.
You did so good.
Thank you, Stars.
You're welcome.
I will definitely catch the playback, or I will try to listen in on our drive down to San Diego. Thank you for having me. I'm sorry that I got a boogie. And everyone in chat, I love y'all. Y'all are my people. Everyone have a beautiful Sunday, okay?
You too. Y'all be safe.
All right. Love y'all.
Love you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Yeah, Wiz, you do owe me, and I will collect. Miss Sherry. All right. Before I start with Stars, I did find something that I want to share with y'all. So I'm going to share this video that I found that I think's completely badass.
One day I hope you see the truth. This puppet show, it stays on because of you fools. We've been dancing with the devil way too long. I know it's fun, but get ready to pay your dues. Oh God, come back home. This crazy world is filled with liars and abusers. We need you now before we're too far.
I think that rig is absolutely gorgeous.
Isn't that cool? That stuff makes me tear up.
Right?
It does. Oh my goodness.
And that song just, yeah, it sends chills down my spine. Right, Keith?
Oh my goodness.
You all right, Stars?
No. Hi, Sherry. Hi, Keith. Hi, Random. No, I'm scared. I don't know what you're going to do to me. I am not Sophia. Oh my goodness. Oh, no. I'm like, I don't know what you're going to do.
You ready?
Okay, I'm ready. Oh my goodness. Okay.
All right. You're home.
Oh God. Okay. Perfect. I was like, I'm not gonna have enough cheese puffs if I have to walk for 4 days. Okay, I'm not.
Okay, you're home, and let's say I don't know exactly where you live at, so I don't know how close the nearest city is or anything like that. Oh, look, the chat's giving you love, Stars.
Okay, wait, I wasn't looking at chat. Oh, y'all gonna make me cry. Oh, quit it. Oh, y'all just quit it right now. I gotta concentrate. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm listening.
Bug! But, okay. All right. You're at home. Let's say that the closest city to you is, we'll go for 75 miles. It is hit by a ICBM. For those that don't know, that is an intercontinental ballistic missile. It is nuclear tipped. The city is wiped out. Sorry. The city is wiped out. You, like I said, this is 75 miles from your home. How do you prepare after you've seen the, missile strike? How do you prepare yourself, your husband, your pets, and your home?
Okay. So you're about, it's almost about right. It's like 60 miles, 65 miles to the nearest city where I live right now. Mm-hmm. So 75 miles. So if that happens, okay, is this during the day?
Yes.
Okay, so if this happens, I know that my entire family is gone except for 2 of my kids. This includes my man and all my family, because they're in that city and I'm not, because that's how it is in real life for me.
Mm-hmm.
So now I know that, I've been prepping for all these different things. So now I know my man's not coming home. It's just me. I've already prepared to help many people. So I know. Oh, I don't even know. Because in my,
Thank you.
I'm just telling like what this is. Because in my head, I'm like, okay, well, that just happened. Okay, they're all gone. I've got 2 kids. See, I feel like I'm already ready. I've been prepping for so long, and I have thought of everything, and I am already the bug out spot. Well, now I'm not the bug out spot for half of our family, but I still got, I know they're coming. So I know they're coming. And we have a spot in our home where if anything goes down, we're taking everything that's not already there to that spot.
Mm-hmm.
It's just me and the dog at home.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is how we have it set up. So this happens. Okay, so I'm like, okay, I already know who's coming. I got the dog. We're now in this room, and I am taping up. I'm getting out my container of tarps and shower curtain liners, rugs, all the stuff I've been collecting. I'm getting out all my tape. It's already right here. I just have to grab and bring into another room where it's already in the room. And we already have the plan. So I'm taping up this entire room. And
Right.
I've got a kid 10 minutes away, and I got a kid a half an hour away. So by the time I get done doing that, they're in my head, they're here. If they're not, they can't. So I've got 3 kids, and they all have a significant other, and I have a 2-year-old grandbaby. So I'm like, if they're not here, I know they just can't.
Right.
Now, as far as my house goes, we've already planned for that, and I already have the things I need to do that. So,
Right. Very good.
I'm just trying to think, I'm just breathing, trying to think what I would do next. Cause like literally we talk about this stuff all the time. We plan for, we plan for this. So I literally have everything I need to encase myself in a big room. And we have everything we need in this room. We have a tent, we have the buddy heater, we have the dehydrated food, we have the food, the water, we have whatever we have it all, whatever we would need. So literally now I'm waiting. So I guess so now I've taped up the room because we already had a plan. I know who's gone. I know who should be here. So there may or may not be like 4 or 5 more, including me at this point and the dog.
Right. Hey, Kentucky. Hey, Pilot. How are y'all doing? And Wizard said, interesting, a point of view from the bug out destination.
Yes. I am the bug out destination because I've been prepping for my 3 kids and my family for a very long time. And they moved out, and they all moved out last year. And I really did try to keep them home, but they got to do their thing. But they've got some preps, but no, I'm the bug out spot.
Right. Okay. You situate yourself in the room. You have, you have the plastic up, with the tape, and it's you and your dog in the room. Your youngest child comes in after you have everything situated. The fallout, has started. This is a good hour after the, initial situation.
Right.
What do you do?
Okay. We have a plan for this. But it's like so we have Well, we have 2 plans, so I guess I don't know which would be better, but I'm sealed off. I'm trying to think how to explain it. Okay, so you got to picture the doorway, and I've got plastic there. On the other side of the doorway is the kitchen, and there's a kitchen door. He's going to come through the kitchen door. Now, I'm going to have another layer because I could literally I could just pick that flap up because there's no door. It's just an opening into the kitchen. Pick the flap up, and literally you can the bathroom door is in this room. Okay, the bathroom, because I haven't sealed off my bathroom. Well, I guess I've shut the door and I put the plastic over the door of the bathroom, but we already know there might be a problem with contamination. So we're taking them into the bathroom and we're taking the clothes off and we're washing them down, and we have, oh my God, I'd have to get all that stuff out too and put that in the bathroom. So we have all this stuff, but I've never, because the first thought was if someone actually showed up, it would be like, oh my God, well, you're in the kitchen, but if you go any farther in the house, then we've unsealed the house. Well, it's your family. Who's going to do that? Like, think, I can leave anybody that shows up after in the kitchen and they can shut the door and they just know they're that way. But like, who's really going to do that to your son? Like, are you really going to do that? So I'm going to at least attempt to get him in the bathroom because the doorways touch each other. The kitchen opening and the bathroom door, he can literally take one step and be in that bathroom. I can shut the door and put the plastic over, and I have this plastic hanging. I've got something else hanging. So, none of that's going to bother the room I've sealed off. Right. It's hard to picture it, but it would be like a corner and you would have it sealed off in your room. You could see in there, and there's a little bit of space where there's an opening, a bathroom. They go in there and we try to decontaminate and do the best we can in that bathroom.
Right.
Right. But our first thought was we have a shower bag for outside. So our first thought was, go to the garage and try to do it. But then what's the difference from walking from the garage back into the house? What do you protect yourself with, to get from the garage? It's not that far. How is that any different than you already came in the kitchen and I just want to get you in the bathroom and get your stuff off?
Right. Another thought for that would be being they're coming through the kitchen. They can bathe off as well as they can there at the sink. Like any exposed skin, their arms, their face, and at least do like a,
Right.
spray their hair down very well.
I could have buckets of water already sitting on the counter because I'll already know so much time's gone by. And then I'm like, okay, just put the buckets on the counter and the water, and here's some rags, and they're going to have to take care of this before they come any further.
Right.
Right.
See you later, Miss Sherry. Okay, let's see. Where'd it go? Wizard asked, is there a 2 to 3 stage decontamination process? In which, you kind of answered, but, Wiz, it would actually depend on, how the house is set up.
Right.
Ohio said, we need to remember when we seal up rooms, we are sealing out our oxygen source. How could we overcome this? That's true, Ohio. I hadn't thought of that.
I don't know. Because when it comes right down to it, am I going to get every crack? Is my tape going to work? Am I going to get the window? Am I going to think I did a good job and then look over when the time's been up and look over like 15 minutes after that and go, oh my God, I forgot. I missed a hole, or where do I feel air from? So at that point, what do? Is that air from your house, or are you freaking out?
Right. Iodine tablets is definitely a good prep to have. I recently ordered 2 bottles, which should be here later this month. Hey, Nikki, how are you?
Hi, Nikki. I know that some have said that they've had trouble trying to find the iodine. So I would just suggest you keep hunting, because everybody knows it's needed now. So now everybody's trying to supply people with it. So just keep trying.
Another thing, Prepper Tribe has said that the health departments usually keep them on hand. Try your local health department. If you have an emergency management agency in your town, you know, go to them. They should have sources for this stuff.
See what they hand out.
Right.
Yeah.
I actually plan on contacting my emergency management, director this week, in which one of my roommates, his sister is the daughter of the director. So I kind of have an in on that one.
That'd be awesome.
That, and the guy has known me, since I was a kid. He used to be fire chief here. Old schoolhouses owned by the state are the storage for civil defense products. All right. After you get your youngest in, you said was your son, right?
My youngest is going to be my daughter. That means I'm going to have the baby, and her. If it's my youngest, it's going to be the baby and her man.
Right.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Okay. After you get the 3 of them inside. Get them decontaminated, clothes changed and whatnot. They have burns, all 3 of them. Your son-in-law has there's a term for it, but he was blinded he was looking at the detonation when it happened. He has been blinded. What steps do you take to help him with that?
Oh my goodness. Okay. First of all, I have an awesome medical kit. So I'm gonna give my daughter, and try to because I have that stuff, the burn cream. I just get it everywhere you're burnt. I need you to try your best to get yourself, because I've got to tend to your man. So it's gonna be, I'm gonna have to flush his eyes. I would flush his eyes, and I would cover his eyes. I would put cotton. I would put gauze, cotton, something soft, whatever he could take, and I would put a bandage around his eyes, and he would be without sight.
Right.
I would have to keep him calm, because he's a diabetic, and I would have to keep him calm, and I would have my daughter doing the best she could with the burn cream, and then just be giving that baby cheese puffs and dum-dum suckers at the moment. If she's okay, and the dog. So if she's okay and I don't have to tend to her, I've got it taken care of for her. And so I get the main concern is going to be him, because I'm going to have to keep him calm. And then I just kept her calm because she's probably freaking out. So it's a whole calm thing. But his eyes, I would flush his eyes really good. I would flush them really, really good. And then I'd close them. And then that would be it for that at the moment.
All right. Now we're a week into the situation.
Okay.
You've been advised by the local authorities that the fallout, has pretty much settled. Do you trust the authorities, or do you stay within your safe room?
I'm staying in my safe room until I see everybody else outside. No one's laying in the street. I'm going to stay in the house and recon that for a minute, because if we've already been in the house for a week, we have already discussed and gone over every scenario possible, because I am now without my man. And I have a blind person I'm taking care of and a 2-year-old. And so we've already covered all this, and we're going to recon. We're not going outside until we're going to watch. And I have no doubt that, we probably have neighbors, people would come and be like, how are you? I'll talk to them through the window.
Right.
At least 24 hours.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, just for at least 24 hours. I just think it would be irresponsible at that point to have gone through all this, prepared for all this. And you're also sitting in the house for a week mourning everybody that's gone. And you've lived the life you've lived in the house for a week is just going to be ginormous. So, it would be irresponsible to be like, oh, hey, and just, that's how I feel.
I completely understand. Susanna said that there was let me come back up here to it. 9 News in Denver, box of human heads used for medical research stolen from truck in Denver.
What?
That is crazy.
What?
And Backwoods has got eggs coming out the chicken's ass, literally.
Oh my goodness.
But Backwoods, there's a lot of things you could do with them eggs, and he said some of them's double yolk.
Oh my goodness.
Stars, I have to hand it to you. You are a lot more prepared than a lot of us.
How do you
Lord.
mean? How do you mean?
You have, everything set up. You have a plan in place, for something that, a lot of people don't think about. You're way ahead in that game. Because a lot of people, nukes going off is never going to happen. They're naive.
Right. Well, I just never have been. And how do I say it? My daughter was born she was like 3 weeks old when certain happenings happened in our country in NY. And I was holding a 3-week-old, and I had 2 other boys, and I just feel like at that moment, I don't know what happened. So I have been preparing. I started preparing here and there, and then you make your discoveries. You wake up a little, you watch the news, and then you don't anymore, and then you just kind of make your own discoveries. And as I made my own discoveries, I was like, well, I probably should prep for that. I probably should prep for that. And I live in Ohio, and really nothing ever happens here. And I always thought, well, that's kind of odd that nothing ever happens in Ohio. I better prep for that because I'm probably always going to be here. So if nothing ever happens here, and then, you know, in the last 5 years, let alone the last 2 years, it's like, wow, really? I don't know. I've just been doing it for 20 years. It really was just, you know, make sure you have enough food and extra toilet paper. And then it was, you know, make sure you are prepared for fire, tornado, flooding. And then it was like, then the whole bug out thing. It's like, well, yeah, you never know when you're going to get evacuated in the middle of the day. Example, Florida right now. So imagine sitting in Florida and you're me, and that just happened, and they told you had to leave your neighborhood. And right? And I'm in my head, I'm like, well, if my house isn't on fire, you know, you got that mind where you're like, I'm not leaving, but they'd make you leave. You know, but you have, so the bug out things, you know, then you do the bug out bags and you get the get home bags, and then you keep watching all this stuff. And it doesn't matter if it happens to you. It happened to State Away. It happened to your friends, girlfriend, sisters, husband down this, you know, you hear about it. And I'm like, well, just because it hasn't happened to me yet doesn't mean it's never going to. And I have prepped for these kids. I mean, flat out these kids. It has always been for the kids. And so I think it's because I've been doing it for so long.
Right.
And I didn't do it with lots of money. I mean, I lived in the city. I've only been out of the city for 6 or 7 years. I lived in the city my entire life. So when I started doing it, I was doing it for being in the city. And that's a different mindset as well. If you're not in the city, you have no clue. It's completely different prepping. So I prepped for all that, and then I come out here and I prep for all this, and then I prep for anything and everything I hear that happens to somebody else or that could potential. And at this point, it's not really about prepping. It's trying to get people to prep and trying to make them see how things could happen. And if the last 2 years isn't enough for people just to see a little bit what could potentially happen more in our country, I don't. And I know everybody doesn't prep and everybody doesn't believe everything, but if nothing else, you should just gather things to protect your family for basic things.
Right. Maybe this will answer your question, Hoot. Okay, Stars, you're in the room. Got it. You're in your room.
Okay.
With it sealed up. How do you get oxygen into it?
Okay, so in this room, okay, you got to picture. This house is 120 years old, so it's best just to picture a brick, 120-year-old house. It's easier if you picture it like that. The middle of the house is a fireplace. So I've sealed, and the fireplace goes through the middle of the room. It's not one-sided. So I seal off one side of the fireplace. The other side of the fireplace is still in that room. And so I've got air going up, and it's filtered through the chimney. We have filters in the chimney to filter, because we don't have, it's opened and all that, but we don't use it we don't make fires in the fireplace. It's the only way we can think of, and we know, and that's not even, and that's not even on purpose how that ended up being the way it is in this house. And we've thought about it. It's like, well, it's opened up there. I should go up there and close it. And I'm like, if you seal yourself off in a room, you're like, well, you'd want a crack. Well, where would you want the crack to come from? The rest of the house? I don't know.
Right.
We go back and forth about it here because it's like, it doesn't matter how big the room is that you seal off. At some point, the fresh air is going to be a problem.
Right.
And everybody doesn't have oxygen. I don't have oxygen tanks. I don't have anything like that. I have nothing like that. The best that I could do is if the air quality in the room got bad enough, we're sticking masks on.
Right.
And we're sticking masks. We're what are they called? The respirator masks.
Mm-hmm.
We're sticking respirator masks on. Now, I don't want to do that. And I feel like we'll know. You would think that we would know the air quality was getting bad.
Mm-hmm.
But, or we take turns using, you go ahead and do that for a while and then don't. But I don't know what else to do about that because I'm not going to go buy oxygen tanks.
No, them things are expensive.
And it's not, and as a prepper, this is how my mind thinks. Okay. Most of people don't have oxygen tanks. Okay. Most people don't. And half of those people, they don't have plastic and tarp and tape. They don't even know, So I feel like at least with what I have, I'm sure there's all kinds of things I could do different but it's like with what this is the best I can do because at least I have it and I'm thinking about it. And because I always think about how there's going to be somebody that's going to be like, well, you should have done this, or you should get this, or go buy this. And I'm thinking, not everybody can do that, including me. So if you can't go buy oxygen tanks, if you can't go buy respirator masks, what do you do? If you don't have enough tarp and tape to seal off a big room, then go find a closet. If it's just you, go in the bathroom, go in a room that's smaller, Right. Yeah. Plants. That's another thing too. Plants. Not everybody has plants, but if you can bring the plants in that room, if you've got plants and you can bring them in the room, it will help. It might not help a lot, but if you're only in there for a week, it's better than a month.
Right. And Ohio and Wizard both, mentioned the plants. That's a very good idea. And, not many people would think of that, would be the house plants.
Yep.
Or any kind of plant, actually.
Yep.
And
so
Kentucky.
You should
go ahead.
I'm sorry. I'll just say if you've got the plants, it might be little, but go put them in that room that you're going to seal off.
Right. Kentucky Patriot said controlled breathing is a must. Oxygen tanks can be highly explosive.
Exactly. I would rather sit there and be calm and collective. And there's things I have distraction upon distraction upon distraction for the kids. I have made sure it's like you're gonna be fine. If the calmer everybody is, the more relaxed your breathing will be.
Right. I mean, of course, as human beings, our natural instinct, is to panic. We have that fight or flight instinct ingrained in us. And, but that's our goal, is to remain calm. Because I'll be the first to admit, something like that happens, I'm going to panic.
Right.
Because I am 15 miles from my parents, from my children, and as a mama bear, that's my first instinct, is to get to my kids.
Right.
And especially my parents, my parents is up in age, and my dad's breathing is not the best in the world to begin with. So, with everything going on, that's something that I need to do is get the plastic, get the tape ready and get out there and, show my oldest daughter, who is 23, how to get things sealed up. That way they can be working on that while I'm trying to make it to where they are.
Right. Right. And honestly, after, prepping for a minute, the preps that you need for this they're not as expensive as some of the other preps. And you just got to think outside the box, go get your shower curtain liner down and go find that old ugly tarp. Who cares? And find rugs, heavy rugs. If you've got heavy rugs, you could pull the carpet up if it was in a small room. Who cares? You're not going to care, and tape, all kinds of tape and nails and tacks and then you've always staples are a good one. And then you can go outside of the box and you can use caulking and you can use Fix-A-Flat and all kinds of things like that. You can use toothpaste. You could take toothpaste for a crack and fill it with toothpaste. Okay, you could just, if you're going to fill stuff up. I said the other night in Tribes, you could take the pool noodles and you could cut them any way you want to. And they're really long, and you could fill cracks and window seals and things like that. Vents in the floor. You can cover the whole vent with aluminum foil, the metal vent piece, and you can take that out, cover with foil, and before you put it back down, put you some plastic there. If it's tiny, put you a trash bag or a Ziploc baggie over it. You can use big, huge trash bags are good to use. There's so many things you can use that are right there in your house and you don't even know it. You haven't even thought about it.
Right.
What did Susanna do before? It says stars.
I'm guessing use the pool noodles, maybe.
She's. Oh, I don't ever know how to take anything she says. Oh,
I love Susanna to pieces.
But I say poo noodle, and then she puts that up there, and I'm like, no. You use that to fill the cracks in the wall, right, Susanna?
And another thing to keep on hand would be like Flex Seal.
Yes, that kind of stuff. Yes. Flex tape. Flex Seal.
Love you too, Backwoods. Enjoy.
Bye, Backwoods.
She said use toothpaste in holes and cracks.
Yes, it's an excellent thing to do. Just I'm sorry. I don't ever know how to take spray foam. Yeah. Any of that stuff. And yeah. And I know some of it smells and it's kind of stinky. That's why I'm like, okay, toothpaste and I can't even think, but yeah, I got a drawer of that stuff. I'm like, oh, that's really thick. I don't use that, and I just save it.
Right.
You never know.
That you don't.
You don't know. But I mean, at this point in this scenario, I planned all this with my man and he's gone. And there's things that I know I can't do and that he's supposed to be doing. And I know I'm taking over. And so, I have to keep myself calm, and I can't panic. And I don't think, I think that I think while I'm taping up the room, I'm already crying and freaking out and I'm already getting myself ready because I've just lost half my family. But I think that once my daughter and that baby showed up, I'll be in mission mode.
Right. Home, you snuck in around me. How you doing? But yeah, I mean, that's like any time that I've really been in any kind, like a tornado or a hurricane, you know, I'm panicking until I can lay eyes on my kids.
Right.
You know, as a mother, seeing our kids safe and sound, you know, it automatically calms us.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm also one of those, something goes down, I want my daddy.
Right.
You know, used to it was I wanted my mom, but, you know, my mom's, you know, gone home. You know, so.
Right. No, you're
But,
gonna want
you
your
know,
family. You're gonna want your family. Everybody's gonna
mhm,
want their kids, and you really, you know, it's hard as a mom because, you know, up until a year ago, and my dog's barking. Up until a year ago, the scenarios in my head were completely different. I'm like, you know,
mhm,
it was when they were at school, they were different, and now everybody's so far, you know. I don't know. I can't go to them, and depending on what situation happens, I'll know whether or not they can come to me, and I just spend a lot of time trying to make that okay,
right,
because everybody's going to work and everybody's not together, and your kids are at
mhm,
school and your parents are in another state, and you can't really prepare for that. But I just kind of try to get my mind so it doesn't surprise me if something like that were to happen. I don't want to not ever think that scenario, because
right,
if I don't think that way, then I would panic and I would be hysterical and I'd freak out like most people would.
mhm. Yes, Yankee, it's for nuclear fallout. Must train to block out feelings and emotions to think logically. Pray God will assist you.
Exactly. Mental
Uh,
preparedness is huge. It prepping is, and you get your stuff, but if you don't know why you're buying the preps, if you don't know, if you're not thinking of scenarios, if you haven't thought of the absolute worst case scenario, you probably should. You probably should, because that's what mental preparedness is about. It's not just, do I have enough canned goods? You know, if you're going to freak out when you lose your cell phone and you can't call people to make sure they're okay, you've got to get your mind right about stuff like that. It's time to do things like that.
right. And one thing that, you know, a lot of people don't think about is, you know, a nuke goes off, you know, you're not going to have any communications unless you have them in, you know, EMP proof box or anything like that.
Exactly.
Bug, I'm like that in some ways.
What did Bug say?
Maybe I'm wired wrong, but I don't panic until I have time to sit down and think about if I've done the job right.
Right.
And
Yeah.
Ohio said, know how to utilize your preps.
Right. Right. There are people in this, to each his own. But we know what canned goods are for. Okay? We know what toilet paper is for and all that. But if you're going out and you're buying oh my God, name something. Excuse me. If you're going out and you're buying a Flint and you don't know how to use it, and the first time you use it is when you need it and you need directions, no. That's no. If you have water, you have your water straws and your life straws, and you have all those things, and they're still in the package, and you don't know how to put them in the a bottle. You don't know how to fill it. If you don't know how to use the preps, you've got to know. You really need to get your preps out and unpackage them and read the directions and use them.
Mm-hmm.
Try them out. If you're one of those people, because some people don't want to do that, then at least get the directions out of the package and tape the directions to the top of the package. And you've already read the directions. That way it's there, right there, and you're not trying to fumble through the package to find the directions, to read the directions when you need it. At least they're right there, and you've already at least glanced at them once.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know some people don't want to unpackage their preps because they might have to leave, and I understand that. And I go both ways about that, depending on what prep it is. But if someone says, go buy this prep, and you do, and then you just put it in the closet, at least research the prep online and see what it's for and what you're supposed to do with it. I mean, it things that you might not think of. A lot of people just gather preps and they're like, okay, I got them. And then they don't think like that. So now it's probably a good time to get them out.
I agree. I mean, I've heard it time and time again. Practice with your preps. You know, like your life straws. If you have a camping stove for like a bug out, you know, situation, practice with that.
Exactly.
You know, and you know, emergency blankets. You know, stuff like that.
Right. If you are all into your medical preps and you went and got a bunch of medical preps, I'm not a doctor. I've never been a nurse. You know, someone could show me, but I've never done it. I had to get the stuff out. I had the stuff that I could, that, you know, that I wouldn't contaminate or, you know, keep sanitized. But I still looked at it and I know what it's for and I've labeled it, and, you know, I got a book or I've researched it at least a little bit, so I have some kind of idea.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to go, especially your medical stuff. You don't want to need it and then go to it and then be like, well, which one is for, and you don't know. At least have a basic.
Yankee said nuclear fallout is only a problem if it gets on you. Oversealing the house is a bad idea. Seal drafty windows with fuzzy blankets and tent off 1 or 2 rooms.
Right. We'll have a tent in this room.
Right. Anybody got any caveats for stars?
Oh, no.
Because she definitely been thorough.
The scenario was, I liked the scenario because it is my number one fear that something happens when everybody's at work and it's not the weekend, and it's not nighttime. So, you know, we've scenarioed out all kinds of things, and this would be worst case scenario.
Right. I mean, you know, that's what I tried to come up with, you know, was worst case scenarios. You know, that's kind of why I kind of like to know, you know, who's going to be up on panel with me, you know, so I can give them a scenario, you know, that kind of fits what, you know, they might go through.
Right. Right.
Patriot said download first aid manuals off the internet or purchase them. Very good idea, Kentucky.
Yep. That's a great idea. And if you're just out running around and you're like the health department, even at school, if your kids are at school, tell them to go in the health room. Tell them to go in the health classroom or the nurse's office, because I guarantee they have pamphlets on how to do CPR and all that stuff, and that's free. Those are pamphlets, and I know you can go in the health department. They have an entire wall at our health department, and it's nothing but all these brochures, and they're all some kind of first aid.
Right. And Pilot said, I mean, if it's just one bomb and I was upwind from it, I'd just quickly pack up a few things into the car and drive the opposite direction. But what if the detonation, causes an EMP effect?
If there was just one and there wasn't any more effect from it, nothing else happened, and there was just one, I bet a lot of people would do that. They would go away from it. They would just go. They'd start going the opposite way. Everybody that was okay so far from it, like between me and the city, they're going to come this way.
Right.
People are going to be on foot.
Mm-hmm. Bug Dude said having an injured diabetic is a complicated and dangerous thing. That person is going to need to be looked after closely.
This is going to be my most severe situation, medical problem that we will have. Will be him. He is severe diabetic. I don't know all the words for it. I just know that it's a constant thing that he does, and we have a lot of his diabetic stuff here. I know that they have backups in their fridge because I was like, oh, but if you can get an extra one, and so yeah, that's gonna be the hardest thing. But I have, any kind of food or medication, that he would need, I have it. And my daughter has, not that we would have peanuts anywhere, but we have EpiPens all over the place because of her allergy for that. So if I needed an EpiPen, I guess we wouldn't have peanuts, but if we needed an EpiPen for anything, that would happen. But he's going to be, he's really, it scares me. It's just the only medical problem that I foresee being an issue, because at some point he's going to need medical attention. And if we sat in here for a week, the very first thing that we would be doing once we went out this door would be to seek him medical attention immediately.
Right. And Bug Dude said having him injured is going to cause his blood sugar to freak the hell out.
Yep. It's going to be awful, Bug. It's going to be awful.
Wizard said an adult with cardiac arrest or a teen with bilateral femur fractures, which would you help if you had a choice? One choice.
What? What kind of question is that? An adult with cardiac arrest or a teen with bilateral femur fractures. Which would you help if had one choice? Cardiac arrest. And I don't want to have to ever make a choice. It would be cardiac arrest.
Bug Dude said his dad's been a diabetic for all but 5 years of his life.
Wow. It is a huge concern. And it's not just the diabetic people. You got to think about all the people. The
people on oxygen. People with breathing problems. Not to mention people with truly, mental disorders.
Right.
As in schizophrenia, bipolar, multiple personality disorder,
All the addictions. Let me tell you, I know this. The loss of life from panic and anxiety and heart attacks and things like that, I believe it'll be awful because they're not aware. And it's one of the things that just bothers me because I can't shout it out to the world and tell everybody to prep, and I can't, but I believe there'll be great loss of life just from how people react to something happening catastrophic.
Right. Wizard said he would help the teen because technically the adult is already dead.
I can understand that.
Mm-hmm. Wow, Susanna, I know that's rough. She said she's been a diabetic for 6 years.
Oh my goodness.
Bug dude, you're right. Addicts are going to go nuts if they do not have access to, their drug of choice. And that's on cause a whole nother situation, on top of what's already going on. Because they're going to be breaking into pharmacies, into homes, to find anything that will help them get high. And, you have people like us that have, our medications, stopped.
Right. And if you don't, you should maybe try to get a little extra.
Right. Sister Marie said, hell, it's going to be real bad when people aren't prepped with their meds or alcohol.
Exactly.
Exactly, Sister Marie. I just, not this past week, but the week before, I asked my doctor to, start giving me 90-day scripts.
Mm-hmm.
And when I went back this past week, she told me of a online thing that you can get your prescriptions and only pay $6. Your first time is $6 for all the medications, and after that, it's $6 a piece.
That's awesome.
Finally quit snowing. I need to go shovel for a bit. Yes, sir, Yankee.
Bye, Yankee.
I appreciate you being here.
I have, just because I've been prepping, I've prepped things because I know there's going to be, I don't know, I just to the point where I started prepping for anybody because, you can prep for your house, but that doesn't mean somebody down the street might not just need a roll of toilet paper. And so I was like, well, you know what? People are going to want to barter. And so I've got preps that I would never touch myself, but they'll be excellent for bartering. And alcohol is one of them. And we're not drinkers. We drink like 2 or 3 times a year. So I'm like, well, people are going to want alcohol.
Right. Ohio said, Stars, you did great. Hope to see you on panel more. You have lots of knowledge to share with this community.
Oh, you are so sweet. Oh, I just love you to death. You should come up here, Miss Ohio. I'm just saying.
Susanna said, I have about 1.5 years worth of insulin in my fridge.
Excellent. That's excellent. Excellent. Most people can't say that, Susanna. That's awesome.
Hey, Monty, how are you?
She's locked and loaded because of those issues. Yeah, so are we. But I figure, if somebody needs alcohol, someone might just want a Tylenol. You never know. And bartering is going to be huge, and people are going to barter because they didn't know what was going to happen, and they didn't prep, but they got stuff, and you might want it, and they might want something you have. And I would rather barter with people than argue with people if I'm able. I mean, I don't want to give all my stuff away, but I would barter with people for sure. I think that's going to be important at some point. I mean, especially moms, they're going to have kids,
Mm-hmm.
and if that mom wants to give me a canned good, like, just give me a canned good, and I give her back, a bunch of stuff for her kids, she could be so happy.
Right. Bug Dude says Stars has been great.
Oh, Bug, quit it.
you know, bartering items, you know, alcohol, tobacco, um, Mary J, you know, like,
CBD.
yeah, CBD, hemp,
Mm-hmm. All
you
of
know,
it.
there's a wide range, and even, you know, with your foods, and, you know, right, Susanna, if you drink coffee, have a hand grinder. You know, coffee is another thing, you know. Me personally, I'm not bartering with coffee. You know,
Yeah.
but, you know, that's just me. I might barter to get coffee, but, you know, you want stuff on hand for bartering.
You do. You do. And you, what other people's, it's, you know, it's like going to a garage sale. Other people's junk is your treasure. It's the same thing with bartering. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
You never know what somebody might want to barter. And it to me it's more of a need. If someone's got to come to you already and be like, "Hey," then there's already a need, and I just know there's going to be a huge need. And
Right.
yeah. Yeah.
And Wiz is agreeing with Bug. He said, applause for stars.
Oh my goodness. Y'all quit it. Wizard, you quit it. Right now. I can't even handle it. Stop it. Oh, I'm so glad that I was brave enough to come up here. I really am. I do know some stuff, but I've learned a lot in the community. And, you know, I've been prepping for a long time, and I've learned a lot. And everybody's got something to offer, and the chats are an excellent place to get information.
Right. And Susanna said, Stars Prepper is the bomb.
Oh, boom. Oh, Susanna.
See, I told you you would do great, and everybody would love having you up here.
It wasn't horrible. I was scared though. I was like, oh, please don't give me a scenario that I have not thought of. That's what I was worried. But you like gave a good one, because this is what we're all talking about right now.
Right. You know, that's, you know, what I tried to do. You know, I don't want to make people nervous, you know, especially not the first, you know, first scenario Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
you know, but as we go on, you know, it's definitely going to get harder, you know.
Right.
And Sister Marie said she's learned a few things today. I'm
Oh,
glad to hear that.
yeah. Just even if it's just one thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's important. When you said, you know, something happened 75 miles away, and all my scenarios are with my man, and so that was the only thing that kind of messed me up a little bit, because I figured, well, I was going to be talking about what the two of us have, you know, what our plans are and things like that, and he wasn't even in the scenario, so that's really scary.
Right. And Miss Sharon said, this has been awesome. I learn a lot listening to these lives and watching chat. You know,
Right.
Miss Sharon, you know, that's true. You know, that's the reason why I watch so many, you know, a wide spectrum of people, is I learn from each, you know, group.
Right.
Thank you, Nikki. She said, great job, ladies.
Oh, I just love Nikki. I love her. Oh my gosh.
Right? And Wizard said, graham crackers, it's still sweet.
Crackers.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
Bug Dude said, skills will be another thing to barter. Can you fix something or make something? Trade that stuff too.
Right.
That's
Absolutely.
true, Bug.
Skills are important. The skills of the people in your home. And I have a veteran and a former first responder in my home. And so this, our skill set together is it's right, it's tactical and practical.
Right. Pilot said Stars did great. Preparing mentally before something like this even happens will be so beneficial if it ever does.
Oh, thank you so much. Yes, you're getting your mind right. Getting your mind right. No, you didn't, Bug. And if you tell anybody, I will send Sophia after you. That wasn't me.
Oh. At least it wasn't a shark.
Oh, oh my goodness. Oh,
This has been an absolute awesome live. I have enjoyed this so much. You know, I just hope that, you know, we done Native proud.
Yeah.
You know, and, you know, it's like I told him, you know, he and I were emailing back and forth about it. You know, we were he told me, he said, you know, you ladies are so smart. Y'all a lot smarter than us guys. I told him, I said, it's not that we're smarter. I said, we just think differently from guys.
That's all it is. That's it. That's it. We women and men, we both react. We both think about our kids. We both think about our families. But generally, the men are going to be the protector, and they're going to want to take that role. And they're going to want to protect their women and their children, and that's completely natural. And I think that if you're a mom, your mindset is your kids, because you already, in my head, I already trust my man. I don't have to worry about it. I know he's protecting me. And so, you know, as a mom, it's about the kids.
Right.
We just think different. It all balances out if you've got it like that. If you've got it like that, where you've got the man and the woman and together and you're a team, you know, you're going to do way better than a lot of other people. Right. That's the best prep. It honestly is.
Ohio said, nope, we are smarter. Nikki said, definitely a different perspective.
Yeah.
And Monty said, ladies, y'all are great. May not always comment, but I always watch. Strong women help our community.
Oh, that's so nice.
It's very, very nice. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And,
we're on the same page. We're all on the same page. And we're all trying to, I mean, the whole thing is to survive. That's it. We just want to survive, whatever it is. It's, you know, that's it. We're all on the same page. And how we get there be a little different, but we're all on the same page.
Right. Nikki said, absolutely. We always think about the kids and the grandkids. That's right, Nikki. Bug Dude said women are better looking too.
Now, if you're not a team, if you're not a team, if you're alone, you know, reach out to people. If you can't find people in your real life every day that have the same mindset, then reach out to people on YouTube. Find people in your community that don't have a problem. You know, reach out to the creators. Just talk to them, and you know, it helps.
Another good place to look for preps is your local fire department. They'll give you shit too all the time.
That's true.
They'll give you Narcan.
Oh, that's true. He was just telling me that another place to get preps is the fire station, because they'll give you stuff at the fire station and they'll give you Narcan. It's free here.
Thought about that.
Yeah, they hand it out here. I can go to the fire station every day if I want to and get Narcan. And so they hand it out here in Ohio. And but that's true, because they'll give you stuff at the fire department.
Hmm. That's definitely something to check into.
All of it. Wraps.
Yeah, wraps, bandages, all of that. They'll give it to you.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely, guys, check that out.
Yeah. Go. You know, if you got kids, go to the fire department one day and be like, hey, my kid wants to see the fire truck. You know, and then just talk to them and they'll give you stuff.
Right. You know, and with me, I have some mental disorders without, going into it. And, I was apprehensive about talking to my parents, about the whole, prepping
Right.
situation and whatnot. And that's how I actually found out that my parents are preppers.
Oh, you didn't know.
I did not know.
Wow.
Of course, they've been growing gardens, off and on since they got together, back in 2002,
Wow.
and my stepmama canned, but I never put two and two together.
That's awesome, though. I mean, that's comfort.
Bug Dude said our fire sale discount fire extinguishers for eight couple of times a year too.
Yep. Just there's so many things that people don't think because they don't advertise it. They don't advertise it. When your community gets together and has that, crazy thing in the town hall or some church or something where everybody in your town or part of town gets together and they want to like sit at a desk and hand out stuff and they give you a bag. You take everything they give you because most people just walk by it. But if you're a prepper, you're like, I see a cardiac arrest stand and there's a bunch of pamphlets. You know what I mean? I'm like, I see a Band-Aid stand. It's all free. It's all free.
Right.
And that's what they give you that bag for. So when you're walking through there and you're like, yeah, you do. Yeah. Grab everything. And when it's a really good stand, you're like, this is a great prepping stand. And you grab 4.
Mm.
You do. That's what you do. Because there are ways, cheap ways to do it. Okay, Candle?
Kendall said, awesome live. All the ladies, you were awesome. So glad I was listening. Thank you, Georgia Peach. You're very, very welcome, Kendall.
Awesome.
This is the first of many. Susanna said, if a family is homeless here, all you have to do is go to the welfare office or police station or fire station, and they will help you on the spot if you ask.
Right.
Susanna, our churches here do that.
Yeah.
Like if the family is, burned out of their home, or something like that. Or they even help with, your light bill, your heating bill. Our senior citizen center helps with your heating bill and your electrical bill if you go ask for it and you are approved.
Right.
And I mean, of course, in a shift situation, depending on the situation, you're liable not to have, lights or, access to heat. But still, I'm sure that there's some kind of way, that they can help. So definitely check out your fire stations, your EMS, maybe even your police station, your emergency medical, FEMA, federal emergency, anyway, your FEMA, basically.
Right.
Here we call it GEMA, Georgia Emergency Management Agency.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, they love you coming in. They want you to come in and get their There's 1,000 pamphlets on the walls in these places. They want you to come in.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're there for. They want you.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, I don't think people realize how much stuff and information they can get for free. You might have to get in your car, you might have to, and a lot of stuff you can get online and do and print it out. But there's a lot of ways to get stuff for free. If you don't have the money, there really is.
And with your emergency management agency, I got it right that time. Ask them what your county's action plan is. Maybe they can give you some pointers as well.
Right. Just because you think you're supposed to go to what you think is the shelter down the street doesn't mean that's where they're going to want you to go. If something happens, it might not be where they direct you to go, because, we've drove around to try to find those signs, so we can try to figure out where like old fallout shelters, things like that would be. And, just because I saw that doesn't mean that's where they tell people to go if something happened.
Right. It could be condemned.
Exactly. So I have no idea.
Well, that's like, you can look, you can pull it up on Google, emergency, like a bunker.
Mm-hmm.
There is none nowhere near me. Like the closest one is Texas.
What?
West or northeast.
Wow.
And I'm like, wait a minute. So that's gonna be something that I asked, my EMA director about.
Now, this is just a suggestion that people can do, is you figure out what FEMA region you're in. I think there's 5 or 7. I don't know. I'm in zone 5, FEMA region 5. You can look it up on Google. It'll tell you, it shows the map, and you're all sectioned out and you're in a region. And then there's one, and then in each region, there's like a command office. Okay. So in our region, the command office is in Chicago at the naval base in Chicago. That's where our command office is for our FEMA region 5. Now, if you're if I was close to that, I would go to that and go in it and see what they had on the wall for pamphlets. And I would want to know, you know what I mean? What are they giving out there? When you know what I mean? I'd go there, but I'm not driving to Chicago to check it out, because I don't ever want to have, do that. But if you're close to one, if you're like right by it, I'd go in there and find out what they have and what they're telling people in their pamphlets.
Right. And Pilot said wife uses a local site called Buy Nothing Project, where people list to give away for free, and she's now addicted.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I would be too. I would be addicted. Now I do know, in Columbus, it's a big city. I do know that on, east side, west side, every side of town, they have free stores. I don't know if all the states are like that, but they have free stores, and they're only opened like 2 or 3 days a week for like so many hours. And you can go in there and they give you bags, and you just fill up the bags with whatever they've got that time. And it's free. It's free. I know they do have places like that in the city. So
I'd be having a ball. Another thing, like, let's say you're having problems getting food. There is so many organizations, that helps with that. You have Secondhand I'm referencing here where I live. Right. You have Secondhand Harvest. the churches do food boxes, you know, throughout the summer, you know, and stuff like that. Don't be afraid to reach out. Don't be ashamed to reach out. Guys, that's how a lot of my preps got started, was these, you know,
Yep.
food boxes and
Yep.
stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, I do know in Ohio, they've said that food pantries didn't have food at certain points in the last year and recently, or the food pantry didn't have as much food as they usually do. And I'm telling you right now that the food pantries, and they're awesome, and that's great, but for every food pantry, there's 5 more places you can go get food if you just research a little bit. It's not what they would call a local food pantry. It's not where they would send you if you called a government office. It's just local people that have food and they want to give it to people. And there's the farmers and the Amish, they do this. People line up in their cars and they fill their cars with boxes. Like, how many boxes would you like? There's only one person in the car and they're asking you, would you like 2 boxes? Would you like 4? You could be like, I want 6 boxes, and they're putting 6 boxes in your car.
Right.
So as long as you got people to feed or you can can it, that's great. It's free.
Right. And, you know, it's not only canned food or dry goods, they even give out meat and vegetables and fruits.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, we wound up with so many oranges and grapefruit last year. So, you know, a lot of it got thrown away or gave away.
Right. Right.
And at one point, they even had watermelon.
Wow.
You know, and look at the price of watermelons. You know, that's not something that a lot of people would give away.
Right.
And another thing, like if you live, you know, in a rural area, contact your farmers.
Yes. God love the farmers and the Amish people.
Right?
They have abundance of stuff and they have extras. That's why they're out there with their farm stands. And it's really cheap. And if you get to know them, they'll just give you stuff because there's tons of it. They do it on purpose. They grow it on purpose so they can give it away or sell it cheaply. That's what they do. A lot of people do that out here where I live.
Well, I mean, that's the way it is, you know, here. You know, these farmers around here is, you know, good old boys. You know, and they love to help their community. And, you know, that's the way I grew up.
Right.
My phone's being retarded. What else is new? It popped up, your phone's hot, so we stopped, you know, charging. And which it is hot, so. But I mean, what is it expecting 80-degree weather, you know, here in March?
Oh my God.
We're gonna need an address.
We're gonna need an address because I've been wanting a sunburn for a minute, so.
I'm walking around in shorts and a tank top.
Oh my goodness. It was 72 here today. At 4:30 this morning when I got up, it was 72 and I'm like, what is it? Yeah. But it's been cloudy all day and I can't get a sunburn today.
Actually, that's when you get sunburnt the most.
No, I know, but no, I need the direct sun. No. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's supposed to start raining Tuesday morning and rain all the way through till Friday here. I'm talking about storms and everything.
Storms after storms after storms, and that is an excellent reason to prep just for that. If you should be, everybody should be prepping for weather because it's kind of corny and it's not quite like it used to be.
Right. I completely agree. Pilot said wife used to go to a local place called the food pantry when she was struggling to raise her 2 sons. Then she met me. God bless me. Right, Pilot? Susanna said, I know a lot of farmers here. We go gleaning every year. Bug Dude said, check with churches for food banks too.
Yep.
Miss Sharon said, I feel bad asking for anything when I have nothing in comparison to offer. You know, Miss Sharon, a lot of people, you know, that offers stuff like that, you know, don't expect anything in return.
Exactly. It's hard not to think like that though. I mean, I've thought like
Right.
that as well. And yeah, I don't think you should be, I don't even know what to say.
Miss Sharon said, churches, excuse me, churches here do food banks, but we only go to one. Have to show ID, and they check their list and make sure you're only registered to one.
Right. That's what I'm saying. And this is why I said about I know how that is in Columbus. And you'll call, and then the agency will send you somewhere, and then you can only go so many times, or all the whole thing. That's why I'm saying if you research a little bit, or even ask while you're at the food pantry or the church, they might tell you, because there'll be other places that are not government affiliate that are giving out food. There are warehouses that are giving out food. There are people that have homes that have garages and they're giving out food. It'll be like the first Tuesday of every month, or there'll be a pamphlet. I mean, there are a lot of places that are doing it that are not government affiliated, and they cannot keep track of how many times you go or who's in your house and all that stuff. There are places you can go.
Right. Ohio said sometimes a smile or a kind word is enough repayment, Sharon. That's absolutely true.
Exactly.
You know, I've worked in fast food here in my local hometown. You know, many times I've worked Burger King, I've worked Hardee's, I've worked McDonald's, I've worked in a pizza place, which isn't really fast food, but you know, still, it's still food industry. And these people pay it forward. You know, I've seen that so much. One morning, I always worked morning shift at McDonald's, and we had round about 20 cars that paid it forward that one morning.
Isn't that neat?
It is.
Yeah.
And I mean, this was during, you know, breakfast rush. You know, and that just, you know, it warmed my heart so much to see that. You know,
I love that kind of stuff, and I am one of those people that believe that's what's going to happen. One person sees one person do a good thing, and they're going to do it, and they're going to do it, and that's how you unite, and that's how you believe in humanity again after bad stuff happens. Is because there are more people that are going to be good and want to do good than I believe bad. I believe that. Or we would all live in war-torn cities with crime and all this horrible stuff, and none of us would live in places where nobody gets hurt and there isn't guns and violence and drugs, and it wouldn't be true. So we all don't live in those places, and some of us do. But I still believe even in those places, if something catastrophic were to happen, people will unite. They will come together. And you see what the truckers did. You're talking about a drive-through at a fast food restaurant. I have paid people's groceries in the grocery store. I mean, I have seen all kinds of things that we do that are good.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm just one of those people that believe that, yes, something bad probably going to happen. And I believe it kind of has to at this point because of how I just feel like our whole country's in distress a little bit because of everything that's happened to all of us. So I just think that something's going to happen and then we'll all be able to come together.
Right. Susanna said we have coat drives for the winter, and some people have washers and dryers on trucks so the homeless can wash their clothes.
Oh, that's awesome.
It is.
That's awesome. I love that. Now I know here that we have there's a corner across from the bridge, and it's either Saturday morning or Sunday morning, rain or shine, snow, I don't care what the weather is. This van pulls up and they get out a table and they start cooking food, or they've already got it made. And all the homeless come to this corner. And I have watched over the years where now it's not just the van. Now you've got this lady that shows up and she'll have trash bags that was full of clothes. Or people are just bringing stuff to this corner that they can use, tents, whatever, and they drop it all off on this corner. And all these homeless come and they get it, and it just makes me want to cry. Oh my God, I love that. I love that.
Ohio said the Bible commands you leave the corners of your harvest for the poor. You're right, Oho, it does.
Yeah, so that's why I feel like I have preps that are more for just my home.
Pilot said an opportunity to do good for someone will always come up within your means, and that is how you justify asking for in a time of need.
Right.
That's right.
And people will know that. You'll have people crying. You'll have people scared. You'll have people that don't know what just happened. And you're not going to be looked down upon because you need. You're going to look down upon if you take.
Right. Miss Sharon said when she lived in Jacksonville, there was a Pizza Hut behind them. The workers would take pizza out and put it on top of the dumpster for the homeless to get. That was in 1975.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
You know, and Susanna said helping hands.
Yeah, helping hands. Excuse me.
And, you know, like a lot of the thrift stores, you know, the churches will contact them like when a family is burned out of their home and they've lost everything, you know, and the thrift stores will donate clothes.
Yep.
You know, it's so there is a lot of help out there. You just have to do your research and find it. You know,
and not feel like you're beneath yourself or you're some kind of not a good person because you need. Everybody needs something. Everybody. I'm a prepper. I still need stuff. Everybody needs something.
Right. Okay, I got a question. Does anybody remember what we were doing this upcoming week 2 years ago?
Isn't that when it started?
Yep. We were living normal lives.
Yeah.
2 years ago. Going to work, you know, taking kids to the park. You know, we didn't have to wear those face things. We wasn't worried about Jim Jones juice.
Mm-mm. You weren't looking through a window at the rest home at your family members.
Exactly.
You were able to go in the hospital and hold their hands as they passed away.
Mhm.
There was no limit on weddings or funerals.
Exactly.
And I don't know, and this might sound bad, but it makes my stomach hurt. I've seen so many drive-by birthday parties for little kids where they just drove by in their car and handed a gift out the window and honked and kept going, and the kid just stood there.
Mhm.
And yeah, so I don't want to get all upset, but that kind of stuff, I don't want to see that anymore. And it's not how it used to be. You're right.
I sure will, Sister Marie. Oh, wow, elusive. I'm so sorry. She said it's almost like my old man knew it was coming. He passed away right before all the BS started.
Right? Oh, I'm so sorry. Right? A lot of people.
Hey, Tiger.
People. Oh, I just look at it like if they went before all this happened, they were supposed to be somewhere to help somebody somewhere else. I don't know. 2 weeks to slow. Yeah.
That's right, Bug.
But now it's like it didn't happen almost. We're not really talking about it. We don't have that map in the corner of our TV telling us what zones in the state are bad and how many perished today and how many got sick. It's like, where's all that? It's like gone.
Mm-hmm. Elusive said, I need my old man as in my father.
Mm.
You know, I'm lucky I still have my daddy. You know. Oh, I'm sorry, Elusive. My dad, not my husband. I completely get you. You know, I'd be lost without my dad. You know, I had a first cousin. She was healthy as a horse. And she worked at one of the local retirement homes, nursing homes, whichever one you want to call them. We call them nursing homes here. You know, and apparently she caught, you know, the coof. And it cost her her life, even though she was, you know, a healthy, fully functioning woman. You know, right. She was a mother. She was a grandmother. You got supper done yet?
Look like it's done. You gonna get out of my way?
No.
Then it ain't gonna get done.
Do what, Stars?
Where's my food?
Stars said, where's her food at?
What are we having? Oh my
right?
I believe food probably tastes better in Georgia.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I love the southern states. I have no doubt.
Oh, I miss the places you can get biscuit, eggs, sandwiches.
Oh, we got a bot. It's time to go snipe hunting.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta love them bots. We went all the way through.
The whole time.
And
right.
now all of a sudden they pop up. They were reporting daily cases on the local news website on the top stories until a couple of weeks ago when the rush crap started.
Right.
Exactly. You know, all that has died down, you know, and now it's something new.
Right. That's how Ohio is. They've had them babies in those masks at them schools all this time, and now they dropped all of it. Dropped it all, just like that never happened. Go on, you're fine. You don't have to mask. It's like, but we also now have protesters that are protesting with them on. So, you know, that's probably just going to be a forever thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's disappeared from the news, and now they want it because they want us to focus on this. Then this is scaring a lot of people because they watch what they watch, the mainstream. So,
right. Pilot said Putin cured the coup. Amazing how that works. Right, Pilot?
Right? Just like that. You know, and everybody's got their opinions. I've seen them all. We've talked about them all in all these chats. And some of this stuff just, it gets you riled up. It gets you upset. You get pissed. You get mad. You know, but at the same time, you gotta keep an open mind and ask questions. Even if you are watching the local TV, just when they're telling you stuff, just, you know, like they're in front of you, and just ask a question back, you know, and think about it for a second. Think about it for a second, because a lot of people that have never listened to me ever, now they kind of are, because they realize what's gone on for the last 2 years of our life, and now it's just like over. But it's not.
Right. Yeah, Susanna, I'm so sorry to hear that. Both you and your husband.
If you get a snipple, you're still getting sent home, and they want you to do a test.
Mm-hmm.
So they might be gone from the news, so they're not freaking everybody out anymore. But now they want it. It's embedded in our lives.
And Elusive, you sure you didn't bring them with you? They couldn't jump on World War III fast enough. It's all a justification of financial collapse to run with their one world currency agenda, I'm sure. I agree, Pilot.
Yeah. We all know what's going on. We all know.
They are elusive. And it's like I said last night on the Canimals. The gatekeeper, and I know y'all know who I'm talking about, I'm referring to the last name, is, you know, already predicting, you know, that something worse is coming down the line. You know, and we all know he's had his hands in the coup.
Right, so you keep the same mindset, because guess what? We're all still here. So whatever we've been doing for the last 2 years, we're all still here. So keep whatever it is you did, just keep on doing it and keep the same mindset.
Mm-hmm. My cousin was taking care of her elderly mother, taking the Jabberwocky, thinking she was protecting her mom, had a heart attack and died.
Oh,
I've heard a lot. I've heard a lot about that, Miss Sharon.
Yeah. Sharon, I just want to give you a big old hug. I'm just hugging you right now because, gosh, it's a lot.
Thank you for putting stars as link up.
Oh,
y'all definitely sub up.
Don't look. I got like 24.
Y'all sub on up now. She's only got 24 subs. Come on.
You stop. I was like, I'm just gonna try to get to 50 and see what happens. But you know, I'm not worried about it.
Thank you, Miss Sharon. Miss Sharon sub to you.
Oh, that's so nice. Yeah, I was thinking about. I just want to go. I don't want to be live. I mean, I want to be there, but like, I just want to go live. You know, I just thought during the day, there isn't a lot of people that are live. And if somebody, and everybody, and if Georgia Peach went live at noon, everybody would go in there that's sitting home during the day waiting for a live. So I thought, well, if I just went live, people could just come up on panel and they could just gab like we do normal, like, any other time. And if you wanted to, gab or something, I don't know. I don't know what else I would do with it. But it's really nice that you guys are all subbing. I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, I just know there's a lot of us that are sitting home during the day and we're like, okay, is Hutch going to go live at noon today for lunch with Hutch because it's noon and it's during the day? Or, who else is going to go live during the day? And it's rare. And so, everybody's doing stuff. I'm just sitting here.
Right.
And I'm like,
Bug Dude. Go ahead.
No, I'm okay.
Bug Dude, thank you very much for dropping that link. Survival Living lost access to his YouTube channel last night.
Survival Living.
So make sure y'all sub up to his backup channel. So, and Nikki said you are now up to 27 sub stars.
Go. Oh my gosh, quick, because if it gets to 50, then I'm going to feel obligated. Oh my goodness, stop it.
And y'all make sure to sub up to Bug Dude. Definitely. We all love Bug. Miss Sharon said she's thinking about starting a podcast type thing. That's a good idea, Miss Sharon.
Right. The more of us go on, the more you can all communicate, the more often.
Mm-hmm. Somebody post Miss Sharon's link in the chat, please. And Nikki said that she would be listening while gardening and jumping up on breaks.
I've seen that up there. It says sub to me, sub to Ohio Prepper, and sub to Nikki.
Right.
I can't see them all, but
y'all sub up to Ohio, definitely. Y'all know I don't mind dropping links. Somebody drop Sister Marie's link too, please.
Don't forget Susanna.
Yeah. Y'all drop all the links y'all want. I thought that was a helicopter. That was a truck. But, there's been a lot of helicopter activities in my area.
What'd you see?
Saw an Apache.
Yeah. My guy saw an Apache go overhead, and that's not normal. The Blackhawks we see, or I can hear them either way about once a month, but I hear all kinds of stuff up there, and I can't see it.
Right. Pilot said, "Oh my God, we were at 52 yesterday and 35 today, and now another 2 to 5 inches of snow coming tonight."
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we're waiting on rain. I've seen all the storms that were south, and it looked like storms for us, but we don't get nothing. And but we're gonna have flooding. I know that. Not my house won't be, but we're gonna have flooding down the hill. The creek's gonna flood for sure if this happens a couple more times, because we've gotten so much rain that it's not normal for us right now.
Right.
Yeah. If you don't want to prep, I mean, my opinion, but if you don't want to prep, or you don't just, if you only want to prep for like one specific thing because it just seems like a lot and it's pretty overwhelming, just prep for the weather. The weather it's not right. I don't even know what to say. Like I'm not thinking anything into it other than just look at it. It's not normal. The temperatures aren't normal. And you used to worry about getting ready for hot weather months from now. The hot weather's here, and you used to worry about tornadoes and storms next month or the month after. Nope, they're here. And then there's still snow. So like we get tornado warnings, and then we have snow 2 days later. So if nothing else, you're prepping for weather, and the number one thing you're gonna do, you prep for weather. Well, the top thing you do is make sure you have lights and heat.
Yep.
But you just prep for the weather, prep for your house, prep for your yeah. Don't forget, your get home bags, things like that.
Oh wow. Susanna said Russia just shut down TikTok.
Oh, well, they don't want stuff going out, so I'm gonna go to down.
Kamala,
Let me see.
Kamala Harris is being sent to Poland next week. Haven't the Polish been through enough? Right.
According to Down Detector, Fox News is down here.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That come across my notifications a while ago.
That Fox News was down?
No.
Oh.
It was just something on Russia, I think it was.
Oh, the Russia thing. So they closed down TikTok. Keep an eye on that.
Netflix, given the circumstances on the ground, we have decided to suspend our service in Russia.
So they're taking they're taking internet away, pretty much. They're taking all the apps away.
Right, Miss Sharon? She said maybe they'll keep Harris. Yeah, guys, if y'all want your links dropped or y'all need somebody's link, let the mods know. They'll definitely drop them. That's what I started, my channel for, is for everybody to be able to interact, and to get to know each other. And, if shift happens, maybe you're close enough to somebody that if they need something and you got it, you can help out, or vice versa.
Right.
And Ohio, I totally read that instead of link as anyone else need a drink or want one. Maybe I need a drink.
I don't know. I can't believe I did this. Maybe I need one.
I can if I want to, Andrew. I'm free grown and well over 21. I didn't say I wanted one of yours.
Mine's got that good. He's throwing up.
This has been pretty fun, Georgia.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. Oh, I hear you, Miss Sharon. YouTube's a bitch. That's right, YouTube. I said that.
I know. I didn't notice that. It took me when I was down and had the cooties and stuff, and I wasn't really on. And then when I got back on and was trying to catch up on everybody's videos, I'm like, nobody made videos. And then I realized I was probably unsubbed from a half a dozen at least. I was like, why? I thought you only got unsubbed if you subbed and then you didn't go, watch a video or like something or something, like pretty much in within 24 hours you would get unsubbed. But these are people I've been subbed to for a long time, and I was unsubbed. So it must be
Welcome, Rescue.
Hi, Rescue.
Yeah, somebody repost Stars' link for Rescue, please.
It's not necessary. Like, we did it once. Oh my gosh. I'm afraid to laugh. I don't want to snort. That's awesome. Oh, quit.
So apparently, Pfizer, and yes, I know that's not how you said it. Just say it. I was saying it that way so I don't get in trouble. Is
Okay.
going after Keanu Reeves for his CBD company.
Wonder why.
Thank you, Ohio.
Well.
Right? I mean, come on, guys. There is so much that stuff could help with. You know? Susanna says, I love Sturs' laugh.
Oh my goodness. Oh.
Right, Rescue. I have fat, short fingers, so I know exactly what you mean.
Oh, phone texting.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you talking about? I didn't see it. So I'm like, what the world? What? Yeah, fat fingers. What are you? Okay. It's so funny.
Yeah, the freezer company. Yeah, I hadn't thought about that, Sister Marie. Yeah, the freezer company. Yep. You know, and that's one thing about YouTube. You have to jump fences and climb buildings, you know, around what you're trying to say without outright saying it.
Right. Exactly.
Susanna said, why did Democrats reject sanctions on Putin's pipeline? What's going on here? Or the better question is, who the hell in office is possibly getting rich off this war and pipeline? Something is off. I completely agree.
You think a little bit? Right? I am
Bug Dude said, Susanna, it's the Clintons. It always has been.
Well, I'm sure they're thrown in there somewhere.
Right.
I have done my own recon long enough, so I have my mindset of what I believe and what I think, and I'm very opinionated.
Susanna said, so Trudeau is off to Ukraine to fight Russians, but he was scared of truckers with a bouncy castle. Right, Susanna? And our own, they're having a Patriot rally outside of D.C. today. I think that's what come across Fox News.
It's today.
Mm-hmm.
So it's right now.
Yeah.
I just figure if something was going down, there'd be a thumbnail letting me know. I haven't seen any. Because someone's going to go live or report it if something negative's happening. You would think.
Oh, YouTube will explode.
Exactly. I mean, I know there's people that are down there, and so that's what I'm saying. If we haven't heard anything, that's a good thing. And they can't all be there, but all the truckers can't be there by now. They all can't be there by now. I'm sure there's a bunch. They all can't. Are they all there?
I don't think so.
Probably a good question for Ohio. She's been keeping up on that.
I think everybody was supposed to make it by tomorrow, but I'm not sure.
Okay. Wow. On a Monday.
Yeah, I actually have that. Let me play that real quick. Let me come in here to it. Here you go.
How do we get to the place where, Putin decides he's going to just invade Russia? Nothing like this has happened since World War II.
One more again.
How do we get to the place where, Putin decides he's going to just invade Russia. Nothing like this has happened since World War II.
Hamburger,
How do we?
macaroni and cheese.
Yeah, I seen that. And I was like, oh my God, did he really just say that?
He's not the sharpest crayon in the box. He's just, no. I don't even think he's in the box of crayons at this point.
Right?
Yeah, I can't.
Oreo
Hmm.
Express follows a lot of political protests.
Mhm.
Thank you for dropping that link, Oho. I had never heard of them until you was telling us about them the other day.
Mm-mm-mm.
Right, Miss Sharon? Oh my God, he's got that all wrong. It's him invading us. Soon gas stations will have finance department.
You know, if you wanted to slow down the country, you would just keep on raising those gas prices because people are going to have to make choices because they're doing this about their bills and their food and going to work and whether or not it's worth it. And no one's going to know when it's going to go back down. And gas is a crap. We still there? Uh-oh. I can't hear you. Okay. Can you guys hear us? Can you hear me? Oh, he's muted. Leave me alone. Oh my goodness. Oh. Oh, now I gotta try to. I'm trying to look at the. My glasses on. I can see the chat. Wait a minute. Okay. Mad Chad. Hi, Mad Chad. Oh, I can see everybody. Tiger. Hi, Tiger. She left me alone.
You hear me now?
Please. I'm like, please come back.
And
you sound like a robot. Oh my gosh.
okay.
Okay, there
My
you are.
internet.
I hear you good.
My internet's acting.
Because we've been on here for so long. Nope, you're a robot, Peach.
How about now?
That's better.
All right.
Okay.
Off-grid desert farming said Russia lost 9 aircraft.
Right, they haven't sanctioned him or told him that he can't be in the air yet, right? Isn't that what they're planning on doing, or did they already do that?
I know Ukraine was calling for it, but I'm not sure if it ever went through.
Right. Right, so regardless of what you believe, you got to follow the narrative being given right now. You just got to follow it. Just keep an eye on it, no matter what you believe.
Yeah. Chinese Union Pay system coming to Russia after Visa MasterCard withdrawal from the country.
Oh, you guys, look at if they're. Oh, yeah.
And I did see where Putin said that these sanctions are akin to declaring war.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, badoodle. Look, this is my opinion. It's hard not to say stuff when you just want to be like blah, 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 blah. But in my opinion, I just feel like our country's last. I just feel like just watch what they're doing everywhere else, and I just feel like we're last. It's not our turn yet. That's why we prep. But there's no way that we're ever going to be normal again if all these other countries on the planet are this messed up. We won't be the same. Even if it's like $10 gas and $25 boxes of macaroni and cheese, we are never going to be the same regardless, because everything that's going on outside of our country is going to affect it's going to affect our way of life no matter what. Yeah, no, you're a robot, GA. Dag, Susanna's got a cheat now. Yeah, so okay, they're taking all that stuff away from a country. Okay. She left me again.
Can y'all hear me now?
Say something.
Can y'all hear me?
Yep, you're fine now.
Good deal.
I don't know. Does it do that after you've been on for so long?
Usually it don't.
It's just weird.
I'm fixing to have to go to my room because it's getting loud.
Kentucky. Is that Kentucky Patriot?
Yeah. China will invade Taiwan. Will be interesting to see how Jojo, Magu, and MSM will say or not say.
Right. And now, isn't Taiwan in the dark? Are they still parts of them in the dark?
Do what?
I thought Taiwan was in the dark. I thought parts of Taiwan were already in the dark for some reason. I thought they were in the dark. Power outages, something. In parts of it.
Right, Miss Sharon?
Right, the cyborg.
I have Tiger, for sure.
What?
But, all right, guys. I'm going to go ahead and end it since I'm having issues. I was going to let it go to 3-hour mark, in which it's almost at.
Right? Oh, my gosh. Yay. I had so much fun. Thank you for letting me come up on your panel.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for coming up.
Aww.
I mean, you always welcome to come up. You know that. Just shoot me an email.
Aww. And thank everybody in chat, because that was really nice to be so supportive, because I was kind of scared. So I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
I told you, everybody loves you.
Right?
Thank you, Bug Dude. And guys, we will be doing Scenario Sunday next week as well. Any of the ladies want to come up and join me, just shoot me an email or a text. I don't have a set number. We can have up to 10 on panel. You know, I don't really want to have it up that high, you know, because everybody walking on everybody.
Right.
But, you know, like I said, just let me know. you know, and I'll be coming up with scenarios during the week. If y'all have any ideas, shoot me an email.
Awesome. Yeah, so much fun. And Sophia, hugs and love to Sophia.
Right.
Because hers was scary. Hers was so bad. I'm like, Dad, she's going to need naps, like a lot.
Both you ladies done awesome.
Aw. Yay, thank you.
Yes, sir, Mad Shad. And Pilot said you did great, Stars. I'm glad you got your feet wet with Miss Peach. Can't wait to see more of you.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'll be all embarrassed when I go in a chat later. I'll be like, oh my God. But thank you guys.
Right, Tiger? Maybe I need to rebrand my channel as Peach Poppin' Cherries.
No, she didn't. Okay.
But I do want to thank Sophia and Miss Stars both. And at chat, you know, I always appreciate you guys.
Oh.
You know, and you know, I love each and every one of y'all.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe one day we can do something on comms. Maybe I can get Chris B to come up, you know, and do demonstrations and whatnot. Maybe we can set up like channel, you know, for if shift does happen.
Right.
You know, and Carbon Q is live now if you guys want to go over and check her out.
Ooh, I haven't seen her live. I'm going over there. Probably, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to take a break from YouTube for a while. I need to settle my soul.
Right, go digress.
Right.
Right. Yay.
Definitely, Tiger. I know that they went down to San Diego today, so, but I'll get with Sophia. It'll probably have to be at night or on weekend because, you know, his work schedule. But guys, I love you all. I'm trying to make it last another 3 minutes. I'm pushing for that 3-hour mark.
Right.
You know. And guys, y'all have any ideas, you know, what y'all would like to see, you know, what you would like to talk about, you know, shoot a creator, you know, email. You know, if it's not me, shoot it to Native, shoot it to Tribe, shoot it to Stars.
No,
you know?
No, I'm good.
You know, shoot, you know, we always, you know, trying to think outside the box. You know, be like POTB, you know, outside the box.
Right.
But, you know, I think we have an awesome community here. And we all work well together. We all communicate well. You know, and something we need.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's right, Kentucky. Everybody got to recharge to stay healthy and sharp. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've caught myself, you know, the last week, I'd say, you know, taking time, you know, to go play a game on my phone or watch a movie, you know, decompress. Right.
Yep. And don't be afraid to reach out. Don't be afraid to reach out to anybody. Don't be afraid to reach out because a lot of us are alone and a lot of us have concerns. So don't be afraid.
Right. A lot of creators, you know, think a lot.
What Ohio say?
And don't be afraid to do similar content as another creator. Just give props where props are due.
Right? Right? If you saw somebody do something that was really cool and you want to show how to do it too because it's the same but it's a different bag or a different, so what? Just give a shout out to that person. Don't forget, be like, hey, I saw this on such and such a channel and this is how I'm gonna do it. But at least give a shout out to that person.
Right. But guys, real quick, I want to mention once again, once we hit the 200 mark, and which we're not all that far from, I will be doing a giveaway. It will be a tactical backpack.
Ooh, goodies.
You know, for like bugging out.
Ooh, some goodies.
So
you throw some push puffs in there.
Yeah. So once we hit that mark, you know, we'll be doing a giveaway.
So tell everybody's friends and family and friends to go sub up. Ooh, you did 3 hours.
Yep.
Yay! Yay! Good stuff. Now you can go digress.
Yep. But guys, I love each and every one of you. Once again, that's right. Oh, y'all, if y'all don't follow Native, y'all are missing out. Awesome guy. But I love each and every one of y'all. Miss Stars, thank you so much for coming up. I have thoroughly enjoyed this.
Thank you. Love you too.
Yeah, you're always welcome up on my panel. Always.
Okay. So appreciate it.
But all right, guys, I will see y'all later. I'm going to go decompress for a while and just chill.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure I'll be back on at some point tonight. So,
bye, guys.
Y'all behave.
Right?
Stay prepped up and stay prayed up.